I think we've got the newest applicant for Project Runway Junior there in the making, certainly. Here in Hampton Roads, humidity a little bit lower, temperatures down a little bit as well. A nice change from the hot weather we've seen so far this year. Still tracking a couple of those showers west of the area, back towards Farmville and Lynchburg. You can see we're high and dry here across Hampton Roads, and I expect that to be the case as we go through the rest of the evening, and the clouds will continue to dissipate as well. Had a few of them build up during the day today, especially right along the coastline, as those winds have been coming in out of the north, and it's those northerly winds that'll keep temperatures down later tonight, down into the 60s. Here's Futurecast. Start you off at 5 o'clock. Partly cloudy skies again. I think even these chances for showers back towards Petersburg or Ahoskie are overdone. And notice that the skies will clear out pretty quickly tonight. So we'll call for mainly clear skies overnight and a good deal of sunshine and clear skies, at least, as we start the day tomorrow. Notice some of these inland temperatures, low 60s. I would not be totally surprised if there was an upper 50 on the map as we start things off tomorrow morning. Winds out of the east a little bit. That'll throw a few clouds again along the coastline and out towards the west. Notice here through much of Hampton Roads, through much of the day, mostly sunny skies once again. Temperatures up just a little bit tomorrow because of a little bit of a shift in the wind direction. So we'll go about 83 for a high temperature for your Friday. But for all the football games, Friday night, at least the schools that are having those games, we're looking at very nice conditions. And then as we get into the weekend Saturday, a bit of a changing forecast through the day on Saturday. We'll start with southerly winds and mostly sunny skies, and that'll push temperatures quickly up into the 80s, likely into the mid to upper 80s. But then a cold front will slide through. Slight chance that we could see a shower or a thunderstorm. Right now it looks like the front will move through primarily dry, but those winds will switch around towards the north, and that'll drop temperatures on Sunday. The bad news is that front is going to stall just to our south, so as we get into early next week, we'll be on the cooler side of it, but also on an unsettled side where I think we'll see a good chance at some showers and thunderstorms as we go through much of next week. Beautiful shot up on the peninsula earlier this morning, partly sunny skies, a beautiful sunrise, and we saw the clouds start to clear out. This is our camera at the Virginia Air and Space Center in downtown Hampton, and right now we've got the mainly clear skies. Temperature coming in at 78 degrees, winds out of the east-northeast at 11. 80 degrees in Franklin, 77 in Gloucester and Manio, 77 in Virginia Beach, and 81 in Wakefield. So for tonight, mainly clear, comfortable down to 66 degrees, and tomorrow mostly sunny, a little bit warmer, up to 83, 69 tomorrow night. And then on Saturday, we'll say partly to mostly sunny and hot, temperatures around 87 degrees. Slight chance of a thunderstorm with that front moving through. Not enough that I even put it on the symbol here. And notice those winds switching around towards the north. That'll bring in some cooler weather for Sunday, only 79 degrees, but some off and on showers. And that unsettled weather will continue through much of next week. It's not going to be a washout, and it's not going to rain everywhere every day, but certainly some of those isolated showers or maybe some thunderstorms by the middle of the week.